More than 10 years after the 9/11 attacks, families of victims traveled to Cuba to see the alleged terrorists in court, and they say they're frustrated. They were there in person to watch the defendants in a military tribunal, although proceedings didn't go as planned. Other families watched the case back in the U.S. on closed-circuit television, and our Susan Candiotti has more.
For Al Santora, it's deja vu.
It was just very frustrating.
I first met Al Santora and his wife Maureen in Gitmo in 2009. They were there with other 9/11 families who got to see accused mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed in person when he openly claimed responsibility for the terror attacks that took nearly 3,000 lives. Their son Christopher, a New York firefighter for just 6 months, was one of the victims.
They stood up and they said, we're guilty, we're proud of what we did, and we'd do it again if we could.
We expected them to behave in the same manner, and they didn't disappoint us.
This time, the Santoras were among 9/11 families and first responders invited to watch the Gitmo arraignment long distance via closed-circuit TV at an Army base in New York.
Why are they putting up with these shenanigans?
The 13-hour proceeding included courtroom outbursts, drawn-out legal arguments, the defendant's refusal to answer questions, and a dispute over whether female prosecutors should cover their hair and legs so Muslim defendants would not be offended.
It was outrageous.
The Santoras wish the military would permit TV coverage so others could watch the proceedings as they are.
This should be America's trial.
Why do you think Americans should be able to see and hear this trial?
This is about an attack on America. It should be open for all Americans to see.
A passerby happened to snap a photo of his son's fire engine rushing to duty that awful day. Photos of Christopher fill the Santora's home, including this portrait sent by a stranger from Spain. The memories never fade.
I hear him in my head screaming out for justice.
The Santoras plan to watch more pre-trial hearings next month. Patient and determined as ever for justice, they say, after more than a decade of waiting.